So hello everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be using some products that I first saw in the Stencil 2 class over onlinecardclasses.com. Jennifer used them and it was like an immediate add to cart. So this is like directly inspired by Jennifer's card that she created in class. If those of you who are in class want to know, I believe it was day 4. Was it day 4? Yeah, I think it was day 4 if you want to go back to class and kind of see more instruction. But I reviewed her video this morning and I thought, okay, I think I can do this. I've never used a layering stencil from Altenew before, but these images just, oh my gosh, I love peonies. And so I just had to do it. I've linked to a couple different bundles that Altenew sells at their shop and also at Simon Says Stamp. But basically in the bundle that you get with the stamp set and the stencils, you actually get a free blending brush as well. Or maybe it's not free, but like they include it. And then there's a bundle at Altenew where they add on the dies. So that's the one that I bought, was the one where you add on the dies. At Simon Says Stamp, you have to buy the dies separate. So you could buy the stencil and stamps together and then the dies. So anyway, this is going to be my inspired by Jennifer's layering stenciling in class video. So I love these images, particularly I love the one with the 2 flowers. I just think it's so pretty. So I thought I would do a couple different instances of stenciling with the stencils actually by themselves, and I might use the stamp set. I think it's mostly going to be the stencils today, but I thought I would do a card plus an envelope. So I don't know if I want to have this center area. It's going to be a 5x7 card, so I'm going to have quite a bit of real estate in the center to work with. I wanted the flowers to just completely fill this interior space right here. So it might be easier to work on the stenciling and then just cut it out and maybe pop it up off the card base. The other option is to mask off this entire margin area, do all of my blending and everything on top, and then when I remove the masks, it will have that center area pristine. So that's my idea for the card. And then also it has, the stamp set has a lot of like really small greetings. So I thought I would just pick one of these smaller ones, put it on some black cardstock, with white embossing powder, and then have it be just kind of really small right across that center area. So keeping the card really, really simple, I think the wow is going to come from the layered stenciling. So as far as the envelope goes, this is kind of what I had in my mind. And this is exactly what I thought of when I saw Jennifer create her card for class. So here's the envelope, there's the flap. I want the flowers to completely cover the entire flap of the envelope. And then I thought I would just have just like a little bit of flowers like peeking out at the corner. Have some stamps right here. And then I'll just do some really simple lettering over here for the address. So I'm keeping it very, very simple. But, like I said, for the first card, the wow is going to be all of that layered stenciling. Do I want to mask it off? I think I do. I think I want the additional challenge of masking off. So here are the kind of teal colors I'm working with today for my envelope. I'm using this one from Paper Source. This is the color Peacock. This is an A7 envelope. I thought that'd be really pretty. So when it's open, you'd have all of the flowers up here at the top and then just a little bit down here. I've also grabbed some gold watercolor paint that I'm going to use for the address. And then the cardstock I'm going to be using for my card is from Spellbinders, and it is the color Waterfall. I have never used this stencil before. I've never even done layering stencils. So this will be interesting live. Okay. I thought there was like a guide. Maybe it's on the stamps. Yeah, I think there is. Okay. I know with Altenew stamp sets, if it's a layering stamp set, they always have really good inserts in their packaging with guides on how to put things together. So, oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so here's your layering guide. And it gives you cues on how you're going to layer all of the different pieces. So I'm just going to keep this off to the side. I need to mask off that area going all the way around. So I have some Post-it tape, and I believe it's 1 inch. I'm just going to go ahead and use this as my guide to mask off the center. All right, so according to my little guide here, for this cluster of flowers, the first stencil I'm going to use is the number 1 stencil, and I'm going to put down my lightest layer. So Jennifer did this with white pigment ink. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take the stamps, I bought them in my bundle, and I can just kind of place them exactly where I want them. And then I can take my stencil and get it kind of matched up. Okay, I don't know where this is going. Oh, right there. Okay. I'm going to hold on to the stencil right here and just pull the stamps away. And then I'm going to just make this little mark up here. Altenew, when they do all of their different layers, they're all going to be on the same axis. So when I bring in another stencil, I'll just have to shift it up or down or to the side, but the stencil won't ever rotate away from this orientation. It'll make more sense as we get going. I've never done this before, but I believe Jennifer. So that's what Jennifer says. I'm using some Simon Says Stamp pigment ink, and I'm going to use a domed ink blender. I just thought this was such a fun technique. Those of you, like, if you're in the chat watching live, did you see this lesson? Did you see this lesson in class? And if not, you can still sign up for class. Today is the official last day of class, but you can sign up whenever you'd like and take all the lessons. The other image is this one right here. So I'm starting with stencil 4. So I'm going to come over here, pick up all my stencils. All right, we are doing stencil 4. So like I did before, I'm just going to hold down the stencil and take the stamp set away. Trying to get this get a nice even coverage. I'm using Simon Says Stamp white pigment ink. All right, before I remove this, I'm just going to do this right here. And this is the top, I'm writing it upside down, but that's okay, because maybe I'll rotate this when I do it. In fact, you know what? I will do that the next time, just to make sure I get it on there right. All right, since we've got my heat gun out, I'm going to go ahead and do the envelope as well. And here we go. There's that image. And I'm going to line it up along this bottom edge and right there as well. Okay, we're going to do seafoam, surf, and ocean. Okay, that looks pretty even. So peel this up. That's so pretty. I love that. It's a little bit hard to see because it's pretty subtle, but I really like it. All right. Lift that up. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm not going to worry about masking off this bottom area because I'm just going to be pouncing in this one area. Adding quite a bit of that darkest shade. I'll lift that up. Oh my word. All right, so then I'll just bring in this color right over the top of the white. And we'll see. Just pouncing that color in. It is taped down well. Oh, there we go. That's pretty. Pounce right on that. Now it doesn't look like it's adding much detail into the center. So this one might need the stamp over the top so that we can get some definition in that flower. Okay. Lift this up. Oh, that defined it really well. I like that. But I think I am going to want the stamp on top. So I'm going to switch to the color Royal from Zymus' stamp. And on top of this surface, I think it's really going to make everything stand out. In fact, maybe this is the color that I'll use when I stamp, because that'll be really nice. Okay. You know, like about like that. I just wanted it to stand out more. That is going to be so pretty. I'm just trying to soften this blend a little bit. All right, so I'm going to now stamp in that Royal color. I'm going to just have it stamped directly over the top to give some definition to the flower. Oh, look, it blends it off a little bit right there. Totally okay. My postage stamps will probably cover that up. Okay. I'm going to use my glider over the top of this. All right, here we go. Big reveal. Did it work? Was it a good decision? It was a really good decision to get this in just the right spot. Right there. Ta-da. Okay, so the card is done. I think it'd also be really pretty if you like masked off and stamped like a really fine little Swiss dot just down here at the bottom. I think that'd be really pretty too, just in the background. I think it'd be pretty. I'm not going to do it today, but you know, just something. Okay, so now we're back to the envelope. Let's peel this up, and I need to pick out some postage stamps. I'm going to be using a gold shade from Yuli Watercolors. This is from their Christmas set. So let's see. I think this gold right here would be perfect, which the color is called Star. Okay, so I'm gonna have to add my address up here. I can't forget George. Okay. You guys will see in the final photos over Instagram, but here we are. Here is that envelope with that gold on it. There's the flap, and if it's closed, it looks just like that. But that's the back flap. Lovely. And then here is the card that goes with it. All right, so here is the finished card and envelope set for today. I love how that turned out. I love the really soft color over here. And then you kind of see with this flower, you kind of do have to have the detail stamp over the top. I think it's gorgeous. Either way, it's a pretty good set altogether. So thanks so much for joining me today. I'll be back next week with more card videos. Thanks for watching.